Oh, hey there. So today I want to talk about clients and how to deal with them. And I'm seriously hoping that by the end of this video, you'd have taken your very first step. So let's talk about clients. Welcome back to The Simple Creative. This is episode 5, and I'm your host, Oladimeji Ajegbile. We want to talk about clients, but before we do that, I want to really thank you for being a part of this podcast. And if you're yet to subscribe, if you're new here, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications to get updates whenever this podcast comes out. The podcast releases every Wednesday, so make sure you do that before this video ends. Now, talking about clients vary in different kind of ways, but do not make the mistake of thinking that they are bad clients. Instead, they are just clients you failed to understand, because it is your responsibility as a creative, as someone who is offering value, or as a business person to understand every client that comes your way. Now, your client might have some behaviors that are not good, but then if you understand your client, then it will be easy for you to be able to tackle these particular things and work with them in the best way. Now, clients come, and one thing that is common to every client is that you are getting something from them, which is the payment or the cash, whichever one you want to call it. But then understand that the value you're offering to them, the return of it is what you get from them. So if you don't understand them, it might be difficult for you to offer the right kind of value or the right kind of service. And the worst part is that you won't even get the value or the money you intend to get from them. Now, understanding your client, it is very important that first you know the kind of person your client is, your client's personality, what your client likes, and what your client does not like. For example, now, if your client doesn't like, responding to emails late, or holding on to maybe a particular kind of design or whatever for too long, understand that this client doesn't like this kind of a thing, so you don't do such a thing. Now, if you don't understand your client, then you're giving yourself a whole lot of issues, because I don't think any client would want to hold back your money if you don't offer the right kind of values. Now, there are some clients that do that, and that's just because you probably don't understand them properly. Now, the way I work with rates and percentages. If I'm doing any particular project, let's say a branding project, we go with upfront payment of a particular percentage, and then when the job is almost done, you pay another particular kind of percentage, and at the end of the job, you pay the last set. But now, if you don't understand your client, you didn't explain your values, you didn't explain your rates to them, they don't understand this, so it becomes a challenge for you when you're asking them to pay for something, when you've not actually told them this is what you need to pay for. Now, I want to just quickly run through a list of things I believe you should do whenever you meet your client for the first time, whether it's on WhatsApp or Instagram or whatever platform. First, you need to ask questions. Ask them about themselves, about their name, about their business, or things that relate to the kind of service you're offering to them. Because the number or the amount of questions you ask them will determine how much of information you can get from them. And this information you get from them is what will help you to actually work best with them. If you're able to understand that, this particular client doesn't like any kind of work that is not this way, or you're working with a client, let me use this as an example. You're working with a client that needs to do a particular design, let's say a flyer, and you get to ask them, the flyer you're trying to work on, have you seen anything that looks like it before that can be of reference or help to me? And then you might be lucky. The person has seen something like that, and then he sends you the picture, and then you go through it and you say, okay, this is actually good. Or take, for example, someone that is a fashion designer now, bespoke wares, you make them, and then you meet a client that needs a particular kind of suit, and you ask the client, do you have any particular design in mind? And then he tells you yes. And then you tell him, send me a picture. And then he sends it to you. Discover that it becomes a lot easier for you to work with the picture he has sent, even to make yours even better than that. But imagine you didn't even ask any questions at all. like a very big mistake I made. I got a contact from a client through Instagram, and then he said he needs a particular kind of design, and I said, oh, fine, I can do this for you. Unknowing to me, he needs the design the next day, but then I said, oh, cool, we can do it. I told him the rates, the price, and everything, but I didn't ask when you need the project. So I went to bed at night, woke up the next morning with 15 missed calls. And I began to wonder, like, why is this person calling me so early? And then I started talking to the person and began to, the person was very angry at me that I need the job this morning. I'm supposed to have a presentation, this and that. But if I had asked that, when do you need this particular project, it would have been easy for me to work over the night to actually deliver. Or I could just say, oh, I'm sorry, I can't do this because of the time frame. So asking questions is very, very important. Ask your client a lot of questions. Then the next thing is to actually know exactly what your client needs, like I explained before. And then the last one is for you to make them understand the kind of value you're offering them, the kind of service, and to let them know what your rates are, your payment plan, and everything that relates to that. Because if you're able to tell them, this is what I offer, these are my rates, this is what your payment plan looks like, then it becomes easy for them to understand that, okay, I'm supposed to pay you at this particular time, I'm supposed to respond to your mail at this particular time, and all the rest. So I believe with these few tips, you won't make the same mistake you've been making with your former clients. Even now, you can even make things better with your current clients and with clients that you will receive later in the future. I don't know if you learned anything from this particular episode. And like I said at the beginning, that I believe you are taking your first step. And I think one of the first steps you should actually make now is to drop a list of questions you would ask your clients or your potential clients whenever you meet them or you get introduced to them for the very first time. We've come to the end of the podcast, and I want to give a special shout out to Richard Jeffrey, to Tosin Yusuf, and to Fisayo. Thank you so much for your comments on the last post. Thank you for the encouragements. Thank you for the honest feedbacks. I really appreciate it. And expect even better content from me. And if you're yet to subscribe to this channel, please make sure you subscribe and turn on post notifications to get even better updates about this podcast. Once again, thank you so much. Oh, I forgot. Thank you, Oluwasegun Danboy, for your comment also. I really appreciate it. I'll see you in the next video, guys. That wasn't so good. Yeah.